What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome to the Concessions podcast. This week, we're talking about the Oscars, giving our top 10 films. I got guest Nick Donovan on this week. Got quite the interesting conversation coming up for you guys. Stay tuned. We are live. So we're talking about the Oscars and our picks for the Oscars. Where do you want to start, Nick?
Let's go backwards up the list, I guess.
All right.
So are we going to start with writing then? Like to start off with original screenplay?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
So my pick, what do you want to do? Back and
It
forth?
doesn't matter. You want to go first? I'll go first. Doesn't matter.
All right, I'll go first. I have Manchester by the Sea for mine.
For original?
Yeah, best original screenplay.
Yeah.
Kenneth Lonergan. He's a beast.
I took La La Land. I really
All
think that they're going to sweep just with Hollywood loving Hollywood and the fact that it was a really, really good movie.
It was really good, and it might. It swept the Globes, so it's likely that it's probably going to sweep, but we'll see. For adapted screenplay, what did you pick?
I picked Moonlight.
All right, I picked Fences. Fantastic movie with Denzel.
Yeah, I think both movies are really good. I don't know. I feel like the political nature for Moonlight will swing it.
Yeah, it might. I don't know. We'll get into that later. I liked Moonlight, but I had my issues with it.
Yeah, I mean, I like The Rival a lot too, but I still think both Fences and Moonlight would beat it.
Yeah. For visual effects, what are we thinking?
Star Wars.
I also took Star Wars. Because, I mean, it's really not up against much. I guess Jungle Book could take it, yeah.
Or Doctor Strange.
I haven't seen Doctor Strange yet. I also didn't see Deepwater Horizon yet.
Doctor Strange is actually. I looked at my notes wrong. I have Doctor Strange picked, so.
Oh, okay. I took Rogue One. For sound mixing, what do you got?
Yeah, sound mixing is where I had Star Wars.
Okay. I also had Star Wars for this. It's really a toss-up, though. It's up against quite a bit. I don't know. It's Star Wars swept last year, but who knows? For sound editing, what do you have?
I have La La Land.
I also have La La Land. And now we get to the shorts. Do you want to skip them, or what do you want to do? Neither of us have seen any of these, so really the only thing we could do is just guess by best title, but it's probably not a good idea considering we have no idea what they are.
Let's just do it. I picked Silent Nights in hopes that it's a horror movie or a horror short.
I'm going to butcher this French title, but Ennemi Intérieur, I think that's what it is. Sounds pretty interesting. Who knows if it's going to win or not. Short film animated.
Wait, you didn't pick La Femme et la HGTV?
No, I did not. HGTV. It's TGV, man.
Yeah, I know. But for animated, I don't know. It's like Borrowed Time.
It's like Hurl. It's a sweet name. And for production design, what are we looking at here?
Production. I took La La Land again.
I also took La La Land. Talking about that later in our top 10. I'm sure it's on both of our lists. Mm-hmm. For original music, best original song.
So La La Land has 2 songs on here, both of which I think are fantastic. I picked City of Stars.
I also picked City of Stars.
I really liked Audition though.
Is that Emma's Reprieve?
Yeah.
Okay, Rise.
And then Can't Stop the Feeling was huge over the summer.
I haven't even seen Trolls.
Yeah, that song the song had its own thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the video for the song has the cast of the movie all just dancing like separately doing different things.
All right, I'll have to check it out. I don't even think I've heard it. I might have and just don't remember it.
You've definitely heard the song. If you had a radio on for any time
ever
in like the past 9 months.
Best original score. What do you think for this guy?
I picked La La Land for this one.
I did too. I could see Jackie walking away with this though.
Really?
Did you see Jackie yet?
No.
It was pretty good. All instrumental, like high pitch, like in your face kind of score. I could see it winning, but we'll see. It'd be kind of a shot in the dark. Makeup and hairstyling. What are you thinking? That's a heck of a selection.
Did you
Either
see
Suicide Squad, a Star Trek Beyond, or a Swedish film called A Man Called Ove?
Have you seen it?
No. I saw Suicide Squad.
I saw Suicide Squad and Star Trek.
I would say Suicide Squad because Harley Quinn and the Joker I thought looked pretty badass.
Yeah, and I mean you have like the Croc as well.
Oh, that's true.
And the makeup for the Flame, the Inferno guy.
Yeah. Best foreign language film.
I have not seen any of these.
I took Tony Erdmann because it's the only one I did see. It was pretty funny. It was too long, I thought, but
I did the same thing that I did with the shorts, and I just picked Land of Mine.
Okay.
Based on solely the title.
Yeah, Tony Erdmann was good. It didn't make my top 10, but I thought it was pretty quirky. It's kind of out there. It's kind of like sort of a Office-ish kind of feel to it. Film editing. What do you think?
I really think La La Land's going to sweep, though. I picked La La Land as well.
I took La La Land for this too. It's up against Hacksaw Ridge though, which the editing for that movie was probably its best. Yeah, its best part. Documentary short subject. I haven't seen any of these. I have no idea what any of them are.
Nope, same. And based off of that, I picked Watani, My Homeland.
I took Joe's Violin. That's a sweet title. That's about it. Documentary, feature film. You haven't seen any of these, right?
Correct.
I saw OJ Made in America, and it was long. It caps out at 7 hours and 47 minutes. I watched it over the course of like a week. It was really good. Like, it's pretty much an incredible testament to research. This guy must have researched his entire life. I can't imagine how much time it took. It's insane.
That's crazy.
So I'm hoping that takes it. If it doesn't, man, I guess 13th might take it. That kind of swept Netflix for a while. I never watched that though. Best directing. What are you thinking?
I think they picked La La Land again.
Okay, I took Kenneth Lonergan because Manchester by the Sea was a dope movie.
It was really good. Like I said, I just think Hollywood's gonna pick Hollywood.
That's probably true. Well, the Globes are usually better at doing that than the Oscars. I think the Oscars seem to be a little bit more
political.
I guess. Democratic with their picks sometimes. Costume design, what are you thinking?
I picked Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
I took La La Land.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did a pretty good job. Florence could take it, I guess. It was kind of a period piece. They did pretty well, too. Fantastic Beasts was good, but I feel like it was released too long ago.
Well, Allied and Jackie were also period pieces as well.
That's true. But I guess Jackie could, but it's really just long scenes of her just staring at the camera. I don't know. You don't see much else besides like her costumes.
But if it's pulled off really well, I could see it.
All right, what about best cinematography? What'd you take?
I took La La Land for that again.
I took Silence because that needs some love because it's the only category I got nominated for.
Yeah, but don't you have a problem with it being nominated in general?
Kind of, because, I don't know. Technically, it wasn't released till 2017, but you say it was.
Yeah, it had a limited release just to make some Oscars, I think. But
yeah, probably. It has a 2016 date in IMDb, so I guess I'll let it go. But I didn't see it until well into 2017. So I don't know.
My other contender for cinematography was probably Arrival.
Arrival was pretty good. That could take it too.
Yeah, because some of its really big shots looked really good.
Mm-hmm. Like the spaceships from far away.
Mm-hmm. Although I did expect the spaceship scene to play out in like one big sweeping motion instead of like cutting straight to it. But
that would have been interesting. I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. I expected that specifically that one scene to be more, because they're in the helicopter, for it to be more of like a sweeping over the hill. You kind of see the tip of it, and then it comes over the hill, and you get the whole view.
Like Jurassic Park did.
Pretty much, yeah. But instead, like, they show you the spaceship, like, quick.
Yeah.
Like, which is kind of jarring, which I think is good for what the movie tries to portray, so.
Yeah. Definitely.
But
for animated feature film, what'd you pick?
I picked Zootopia for this.
I haven't seen Zootopia yet. I saw Moana and I saw Kubo and the Two Strings. I took Moana.
Kubo's really good. I think Zootopia's better.
I'll have to watch Zootopia then.
I didn't see My Life as a Zucchini or The Red Turtle. I don't know what those movies are.
What is My Life as a Zucchini? I'm pretty intrigued. I'll have to check that out later. All right, here we get into the nitty gritty. Best actress in a supporting role. What are you taking here?
Viola Davis.
I also took Viola Davis, but there's some pretty heavy hitters in this category.
Mm-hmm.
I could see Naomi Harris walking away with it for her portrayal in Moonlight, and also Michelle Williams for Manchester.
Yeah, I think they both did awesome as well. I really liked Michelle Williams' like breakdowns in Manchester. I thought she did an amazing job with it, but the emotion behind Viola Davis and her role is insane.
Yeah, I thought she was that character for like that entire movie. She was really good. Actress in a leading role. This is also pretty.
We have different orders for our lists.
Oh.
I have actor in a supporting role.
Well, let's do that first then. Actor in a supporting role. What are you thinking?
Ali for Moonlight.
I also took Mahershala Ali, but I would like to see Michael Shannon get something for this, though.
I loved him in Nocturnal
Yeah,
Animals.
he was really good in that movie. I don't know why the other guy won the Golden Globe for his supporting role in that movie.
I really like Jeff Bridges as well, but I feel like his I don't know, his work
I
in
thought,
Hell or High Water doesn't really hold up to the work in Moonlight or the work of Michael Shannon.
yeah, it's not really
And
an original
even
character. That's why.
yeah, and even the kid in Manchester was awesome. So
Hmm.
I could see Lucas Hedges taking it as well.
I could see that. He also seemed, I don't know, at times he felt kind of generic, but I don't know. Michael Shannon's character felt like pretty unique,
Mm-hmm.
but we will see. So are we doing an actress in a leading role now?
Yeah, that's what I have next.
Okay. I took Emma Stone for this for La La Land.
Samesies.
She was pretty much the reason La La Land was great in my opinion. She did so well.
I mean, I like them both. I thought Ryan Gosling also did a good job. Not nearly as good as Emma's job in it, but I
Well, yeah,
still thought
that's
he
what I
did
mean.
well.
Yeah, he was good, but she like I think she stole the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy to think about like Emma Stone like way back in Superbad and how different she was then and is now. I don't know. This is like her first serious role I took her as, anyways. I don't know about you.
Um, I can think of other serious roles. Like Easy A was
Not serious.
like her biggest film outside
Really?
of Superbad. It was like Superbad, Easy A, and then this. And she was in like The House Bunny, but it was like a smaller part.
That shit was good in The Help.
The Help. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
She's also really good in Birdman,
Really?
but she wasn't really a leading role.
No, it was just a small role in that one.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about The Help.
Yeah. What's your pick for best actor in a leading role?
I really want Casey Affleck to take that.
I do too. He's getting a lot of flack though.
Because he doesn't wear tuxedos.
I guess, yeah, I don't know. Plus
He
that like
doesn't clean up his hair and shit.
yeah, plus like the potential like rape case against him or whatever right now was kind of hitting him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I thought he was really good in that movie though.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see Denzel win this too.
Yeah, Denzel's job in Fences was awesome.
But I think
I
he's
don't see
probably
Ryan
third
Gosling
tier.
taking it.
I don't think so either.
What about Garfield and Hacksaw?
I mean, he was good. He was the only redeeming factor that Hacksaw had, in my opinion. But I might be a minority there. A lot of people liked Hacksaw a lot. I didn't really like it that much. The first half was kind of a repeat of watching the Oliver Stone movie. What the heck was that called? I'm gonna butcher this. How do I not remember this movie? Arlie Ermy.
Oh,
That's
Full Metal Jacket.
that's not. Yeah, that's Stanley Kubrick actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's not Oliver Stone.
Oliver Stone.
One of the billions of Vietnam movies. Oliver Stone did Platoon, dude. That's how I get it
Platoon.
mixed up all the time.
Okay. I say. Okay. But yeah, so my pick is Casey.
My pick's also Casey. What do you think for Best Picture?
I think La La Land takes it. I really do. I want Manchester to win that, but I really think La La Land wins it.
Yeah, I took Manchester just because I have Manchester for like 4 of my categories and I want them to win really bad. But I could see them not winning anything. I don't know. We'll see. They might win screenplay, but I think in the end either La La Land's gonna take it or Moonlight. They were the two favorites at the Globes.
Mm-hmm.
So that pretty much wraps up our Oscar picks.
Yeah, general thoughts. There's a lot of good stuff this year. I think we had a really good year for like original films. I mean, we had things like Swiss Army Man come out this year.
Yeah, you love that movie. I wasn't too big on it.
I thought it was awesome.
It was good. I don't know. It was like it wasn't insanely original, obviously, but I haven't seen either of those actors really carry a movie. So I don't know. Just for me, it didn't really feel that great.
I don't know, I really liked it.
It was a movie that it just felt like it was just based
It's
on
a,
flatulence. I don't know.
well, I mean, it was honestly to me, it felt like an old cartoon, right?
I mean, I guess.
And so the whole idea of that guy of Daniel Radcliffe's character being able to do all these weird things, to me it was very cartoon-ish, and I don't know, I really appreciated the humor in it, how far they took it.
Yeah, they did push the boundary pretty far.
The ending, I loved. I was just so happy.
It's ridiculous.
Let's see, other original movies like that. I mean, you had other big things. You had like the Deadpool being huge with its R-rated comic book movie.
Yeah, Deadpool was pretty great.
Fantastic.
Deadpool almost made my top 10 list.
It's in my top 10.
Is it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It should have been in mine. I don't know. It's like 11 or 12. It's really close. So do you want to start with your top 10 or talk about more honorable mentions? What do you want to do?
We can just hop into it.
All right.
Why don't you start off with number 10?
All right, my number 10 is Moonlight. And while I really wanted to like this movie a lot, and I liked the build-up of the movie quite a bit, overall I thought it kind of fell flat towards the end. It just went for these like incredibly big arcs and really didn't round them off. I don't know. Like, I thought Mahershala Ali did a fantastic job as the father figure for the kid. And I thought the two kids that played his role, like as a child and as a teen, were really good.
Mm-hmm.
But like once he got to the adult portion of the movie where he was trying to figure out how he was, like, spoiler alert, I guess. But he was trying to figure out how he wanted to be a gangster or like come forward with his like homosexuality or whatever. It just didn't. I don't know. It wasn't resilient enough, or not resilient. It didn't resonate enough. What do you think? What do you think about Moonlight?
So Moonlight didn't make my list, and that's mainly because I think personally I just have a difficult time connecting with the nearly silent main character.
Yeah, I agree with that too. It's hard to connect with.
Yeah, because he just takes everything and just kind of internalizes it, and that's it's hard to grasp that character or wanna. It's hard to connect with it. I don't know. That was my biggest flaw with it. I also think Ali did an amazing job at the beginning, but for me, the first act of the movie was probably the best.
Yeah, I agree. I think Naomi Harris as the mom was really fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
She was kind of reminiscent of like Monique from Precious,
right,
a couple years back.
Yeah,
a character you love to hate, I guess. I don't know.
It moves into the teenage years. I thought it was slowing down a bit, and then I didn't expect it to go so much slower once it hit the third act. And with the third act, I guess specifically with like the end where he tells his friend that he's the only man he's ever been with.
Yeah.
It just seems really odd, personally to me. Cause I don't get the like introvertedness of that, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it. There's people that are like that. It's just I don't connect with that. So.
Well, that's like one of that's what I'm saying about like the overarching like attempts to make this like almost a, I don't know, not a metaphor, but I mean, like so too clean. It's too clean.
The other side of his adulthood part is that he goes to jail, right, as a juvie. He gets into a bunch of trouble when he beats up that kid who he wouldn't press charges against. Um, but so then he gets in trouble after he smashes a chair on his back, and then he goes down the same life that he saw Ali go down, and we know he died from that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's about all I can say about Moonlight. It really just sort of fell flat for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it made my top 10 because, I mean, the performances of Mahershala Ali and Naomi Harris were kind of definitely noteworthy.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of my favorite supporting performances of the year.
Yeah.
So what's your top 10? What's your number 10?
Number 10 for me is it's actually an animated movie called Your Name. It's an anime.
Okay.
It's
You were,
it's a
you were
love
telling me about
story.
this when you were in Korea.
So I checked out this movie because of the Chris Stuckman review, but I think he was straight on with this movie. It's really really good. It's a really original, really amazing story of this body swap kind of thing. Um, it the twists of it and the the art of it were just fantastic. I really really liked it. The music was really well done. The animation is spectacular. So.
I gotta check it out. I think overall, I haven't been too much into anime recently, but this looks really good. Has solid ratings overall, so I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. I enjoyed it.
All right, my number 9 is The Handmaiden.
I didn't see The Handmaiden.
Pretty fantastic. It's really long. Uh, Chan-wook Park directed it, who you know from Old Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it was incredibly beautiful movie. Again, it has that Asian kind of art style to it. It was sort of like geisha type narrative where you go through and everyone's kind of backhanded in the movie and you don't know who to root for, and everyone has a secret, and it all ends up in a pretty disturbing third act. But I think that's like the ultra violence that Chan-wook Park is noted for, as like
Okay.
old boy's ending is the same way, sort of
Okay.
kind of a hyper climactic. But I don't want to spoil it. Definitely check it out. Definitely my favorite foreign film of the year for sure. If you can sit through 3 hours of subtitles, I would definitely recommend it. What's your 9, sir?
Number 9 for me was Nocturnal Animals.
All right.
I really liked it. I really liked it. Something with it and another movie on my list that'll be up a little bit higher. I really like leaving the theater and having something to talk about more than just what happened directly in the movie, but the
Yeah,
implications of it or the meanings behind stuff. And I mean, Nocturnal Animals is kind of like an art house-y movie, so
I would agree. Yeah, I definitely agree with the shock ending of it. That definitely allows for more conversation. But ultimately, this didn't make my list. Um,
I mean, I thought so. I think Amy Adams did an awesome job. I think Jake Gyllenhaal was really good in it. The cut back and forth between the story in the book or the stuff going on in present life
mm-hmm.
were they were cut really well. But the thing I didn't like about the cutting back and forth was that they tried to make sure when they were coming back into real life that there was something jarring that happened. So you'd
Yeah,
almost get like a jump scare to get back into it, and that's kind of annoying.
yeah. I think that whole movie felt like a, one big jump scare for me. I don't know. It went like overboard with just trying to be shocking, trying to be like every twist, and like I don't know. It just fell flat for me. It didn't make my top 10. The ending for me it ruined the movie. We talked about that before though. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know. I
It,
like the ending. I think
I don't want to spoil it.
yeah, I think my biggest problem with the movie, besides the jump scares, is the Jake Gyllenhaal character in the book, who sees his family get like into a tussle with the road rage guys. That I don't know. That was again like really hard to identify with as this guy who just gets pushed around.
Yeah.
It lets people like attack his family.
Like an incredibly weak character and like something that kind of deserves like high adrenaline reactions.
Yeah, I that might just be having seen like Jake Gyllenhaal and like some of these other roles that seem to be like a stronger character. So for me, it was hard to place him there.
Yeah, like Nightcrawler, where he doesn't ever take no for an answer. That type of character.
Yeah, I mean he's also played like strong men before, right? So
Mm.
he was in Southpaw and he's like ripped. So like
Yeah.
to see him get pushed around by like these what look like 70 stoners guys.
Yeah.
I
Hey man, the Globes thought that guy did the best supporting actor.
no, yeah, he was good too. I think that if Dazed and Confused pulls up beside you and runs you off the road,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel you gotta kind of stand for yourself and your family, especially when stuff starts to go south. But
Yeah, for sure. But my number 8 is Patterson.
I did not see Patterson.
Patterson was a fantastic movie. It's like it's kind of a tribute to poetry and a tribute to being like a starving artist sort of scenario.
It was an Amazon movie, right?
Yeah, I think Amazon Studios did it. It had like 18 production companies tied to it. So when the movie started, it was like 5 minutes of just
rolling
production companies.
credits.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's a great meditation on like life in general. I don't know. It's really it's slower, but it shows like how the working class can also be artistic and how everyone really has an artistic side. And even if you're not a published author, you can still make like great things. So it resonated with me because I'm a writer, but it might not for everybody else. But I thought Adam Driver did a really good job as the main character. What's your number 8, sir?
My number 8 is Hell or High Water.
Yeah, this is my number 7.
Okay, cool. So we can just skip it.
No, it's fine.
So you're just noting at 7, and I'll just hop over to my 7 then after this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Hell or High Water was really good. Normally not a huge fan of Chris Pine, but that's just
he killed it in this. He was really good.
I think all three of the big guys did. The Ben Foster character was insanely good. He played such a good crazy brother.
Yeah.
Chris Pine's really good, and then Jeff Bridges I think also crushed it.
Yeah, and I think it tackles really mainstream sort of generic plot lines like westerns and bank robberies, stuff you've already seen a billion times, but it does it so originally and sort of in like a modern way that it succeeds quite a bit. And the cinematography and directing are very good too. These long takes of driving or Jeff Bridges rolling into the town or like what have you.
Yeah, the big old desert towns.
Yeah. It does pretty well.
The interaction between Jeff Bridges' character and his sidekick or his like deputy.
Yeah.
I thought they were really funny.
They were funny, yeah.
I just love them giving shit to one another. And then you see like how much Jeff Bridges' character cares for his friend who he gives shit to all the time.
Yeah. Definitely a good movie. Check it out.
Mm-hmm.
So that Hell or High Water was your 8 and my 7. So we're back to your 7, good sir.
My number 7 was Zootopia.
Okay, interesting.
It was just really good. Really well animated movie. Original.
I gotta check that out. I still haven't seen it yet.
It's on Netflix. So
yeah,
definitely do that.
Anything that stood out about Zootopia for you? Like, is it your top animated movie? Do you have any other animated on your list?
It is my top animated. Okay. It's really really funny.
Okay.
It has different like homages to other like a whole bunch of other movies, right? Mm-hmm. So there's like a Marlon Brando type character. It's hilarious, okay. Mr. Big. they play with the whole animal kingdom in a really fun way.
Okay.
The jokes about dogs, jokes about the rabbit. Um, it's really good. It's really good.
Okay. I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, I don't want to like spoil any of the jokes for you.
Oh yeah,
So
for sure. I'll have to watch it soon. So my number 6 is The Lobster.
okay.
And this movie was incredibly dark, but also incredibly hilarious.
Yeah, so the lobster I liked a lot, but it it didn't make my list. I would have included it with the very unique movies of the year, like
Yeah.
Swiss Army Man.
Yeah, it was definitely unique. I just think it takes like a kind of a romantic narrative sort of and just pushes it to its extremes. And I don't know, I thought it was a quirky look at the absurdities of like everyday life, but also like specifically relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And that like dating sites turns into like a whole dating organization that's almost cultish. Um,
Well,
but
it's like super cultish because it gives you an
it's really
ultimatum.
cultish. Yeah, exactly. And
And it gives you a time limit on that
yeah,
ultimatum.
yeah, exactly. I don't want to spoil anything for that either, but definitely check it out. It's almost I hate to compare it to like a Napoleon Dynamite, but like that's the kind of quirky level
And
I
it's
can.
very dry and like just kind
Yeah,
of
definitely confident in
yeah, like
its
matter of fact.
self. Yeah. But the Lobster's my number 6. So what's your number 6?
My number 6 was Deadpool.
Okay. Yeah. Ultimately, this didn't make my list either, but I thinking of it now, I almost kind of want to put it on
What,
because
Deadpool?
it was so good. Yeah, Deadpool was probably my favorite superhero movie of the year, hands down.
Yeah, it was
Maybe even of
hilarious.
the last 2 years.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds clearly identifies with Deadpool.
Yeah.
In I don't know, for me, like Tobey Maguire was a really good Spider-Man. He was a really good Peter Parker, right?
Hmm.
He was really nerdy. He just kind of fit the role, and Ryan Reynolds trumps that with Deadpool,
Hmm.
especially his love of the character.
So what do you think changed? So obviously Ryan Reynolds played Deadpool in X-Men Wolverine Origins.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he was terrible in that movie. And the Deadpool character wasn't fully realized, and it kind of fell short.
Yeah, I think it was just
And
written really shitty.
yeah, I guess I can agree with that. But like 6 years later, and he like makes this amazing movie. I mean, Deadpool was fantastic.
Well, I
T.J.
think he had
Miller,
a better idea for who that character was, but I mean, he didn't write
yeah,
Origins, so
yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna guess he didn't have much of a creative like influence on it. But with like
Hmm.
Deadpool, that whole movie happened because of an animated short that was leaked, most likely by Ryan Reynolds or someone in his camp.
Yeah,
But rightly so because it got so much attention and finally forced the studios to make it,
that got picked up. Hmm.
and it made a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
I mean, it has its own fall downs, right? It or downfalls. It has just so much other good stuff going for it, though. The music is really good. All the
hmm,
jokes are hilarious. I started gut laughing from the opening credits, right? And then
yeah.
throughout almost the entirety of the movie.
Hmm. I think T.J. Miller's character does a fantastic job too
Yeah,
as
TJ,
Weasel.
I forgot about him. He's so funny in this movie.
Yeah, yeah. Deadpool was definitely really good.
And then the back
Um,
and forth with his love interest and
mhm.
his roommate later on in the movie, the
Yeah,
cab driver,
yeah,
the X-Men he talks to, the the way he pulls out and does like breaking the fourth wall or making jokes about like the studios not having enough money for more X-Men and stuff like that. It's hilarious, and it's
yeah.
all very Deadpool-esque.
Like yeah, like deadpan type of comedy. Um,
Well, Deadpool's
pretty,
like the one comic book character who knows he's in a comic book.
yeah,
So,
very aware of himself. I'm really excited for the sequel next year.
mm-hmm. What is your number 5?
My number 5 is Don't Breathe. It's a horror movie that was released this year. That's actually the only movie I saw twice in theaters. It was
I
just
didn't get a chance to see that movie.
It's so good. It's an incredibly tense movie. That was easily my favorite horror movie of this past year, possibly the past couple of years. It's again a movie that's really hard not to spoil by talking about it. But basically, these like three kids break into this blind guy's house to try to get his estate money, and things don't necessarily go their way. Let's just leave it at that. And it just the sound editing is so good. They just cut to dry, no sound, and all you hear is breathing for like long periods of like characters walking through dark rooms or what have you, and it's just incredibly tense. Easily one of the most tense movies I've seen in a long time.
So with regards to like that kind of the editing playing specifically to the main bad guy's senses, right? So you're hearing like the hyper versions of the sounds because of the old guy being blind. How would you compare that to like Hush, which is the movie that is all about a woman who is deaf who gets terrorized in her own home?
Hush was good. I think I liked Hush a bit more than you did, I think, right?
Yeah, no, I'm just wondering how you compare the way that Hush handles. It just cuts all sound at times. So
yeah, I think Don't Breathe doesn't quite cut all sound. Like you still hear breathing and whatnot.
well, I think you hear hyper versions of those very tiny sounds. You don't have music and stuff.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, there's no score or anything happening.
I'm just saying, like, how does it compare in? So like when they do it in Hush, right? It'll be at a moment when she's getting terrified, or like when there should be something very very loud, so that way the audience like really recognizes with it.
Yeah.
So having not seen Don't Breathe, I'm just because you've seen them both. Is the way that they use it's essentially the same gimmick, not to call it a gimmick, but the same idea. How does Don't Breathe, I guess, do it better if it does?
Yeah, I think Don't Breathe definitely does it better. But I think, well, I mean, Hush had a lot of jump scares that Don't Breathe kind of successfully avoids. And I think that's like when you come out of those moments of like hypersensitive or hypersenses where she doesn't hear anything and the main character doesn't see anything. It's kind of like, I don't know. They don't, and Don't Breathe. It's kind of the tension carries on. Where in Hush, it kind of is broken by a bunch of like moments of her walking about her house or what have you, or getting on her laptop or whatever. Like very mundane things kind of break it up in Hush. Where Don't Breathe, the tension kind of like as soon as they get into the house, it's just an continuous level of building tension throughout Don't Breathe.
Okay.
Like it's just constantly on the edge of your seat type of stuff. And I think they actually use the effect more than they do in Hush, where there's just long periods of time where there's no sound, and you're walking through you're watching the main character walk through the basement or trying to get out of the house and not being able to for a number of different reasons. And I just think Hush kind of fails at that and gets more, I don't know, kind of typical in how it handles horror instead of being original.
Yeah, like when I got done watching Hush, I felt more like, oh, I've watched yet another of the same horror movies again.
It's kind of like that. Hush is like really similar to like Panic Room, which is kind of another standard type of thriller-ish movie that I don't think really goes outside of the box very much.
Okay.
But Don't Breathe's climax, as well as its build, I think are both incredibly original in terms of horror movies these days.
Cool.
But what's your number 5?
My number 5 is the opposite of horror, and it is The Nice Guys.
Yeah, fantastic movie. That also almost made my list too.
I thought it was hilarious. The comedy between Gosling's character being a failed PI essentially, and Russell Crowe's character being just a hard ass who would do anything for a few bucks.
Yeah. They work well together.
It was really awesome. Good. And the little girl is really good too. She's really funny.
Mm-hmm. Are they in line for a sequel for that?
They should if it had done better.
Yeah.
Because it's another thing that I remember watching Stuckman talk about is that the director said that he has all kinds of stories for these two characters
Hmm.
if he could get it greenlit, but
It was
if
so
it
good.
doesn't, it'll be really sad because those characters are awesome and they both do so well at it.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's kind of a modern day Lethal Weapon of sorts. I think it works in the same way, like a comedy action mix that really mixes really well.
Right.
And I would definitely like to see more of those characters. So my number 4 is Arrival.
Okay, so my number 3 is Arrival.
Okay. So I will wait to talk about it till then. But I will say that I liked Arrival. I thought like
We just talk about Arrival now because I think we're definitely gonna hit probably the next one quickly
okay.
for me. So
Okay.
but yeah, so we'll just discuss Arrival now.
All right. I thought Arrival was good. Ultimately though, it didn't get higher on my list because of some of the acting in it. I wasn't a huge fan of Rachel Adams' character or Jeremy. What's his name? I forget his last name. Jeremy Renner. Yeah.
And you said Rachel Adams?
I did say Rachel Adams. My bad. Amy Adams.
Yeah. Okay.
I always get Amy Adams and Rachel McAdams confused. But yeah, Amy Adams was good. And I thought Forrest Whitaker was good too. But I thought that movie really lacked like I don't know, a strong actor in a strong role. But I think you probably have different opinions than I do. So go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, Renner definitely plays just a small supporting role in this, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Amy Adams crushes it in this movie. I think she does an awesome job. But this is the movie that I was talking about earlier with Nocturnal Animals that hit the same way with me in that I left the theater and I was like, I have to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
We have to discuss what just happened in this movie and what this kind of stuff means because it's a movie. Like I can't discuss it without spoilers, so I'm just gonna spoiler this one.
Yeah. That's fine.
It deals directly with time and having time be a circle instead of linear, and how you know this point and that point and this point and the other point all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And the repercussions of that or the implications of that are just crazy, and it's very hard to wrap your head around. And then the way that they show that in film with the very first scene being well after the main part of the movie, and it cutting back and forth, and you think by the way that it lays out these scenes, you immediately go into the movie as most movies, and that it's a linear story. So you see this Amy Adams character with her daughter, her teenage daughter who's dying, and presumably she dies, and then you see her like wandering through the school. Right, she's going to class as a professor, and she's kind of standoffish and just doesn't seem to be very happy. And you think like this is after that, so she's dealt with her loss of her kid, and you see that again when she comes back home and she's on the phone with her mother, and she has to tell her mom like, listen, I'm fine, I'm okay by myself, like pointing towards this loss of a kid, and which we know comes to be a divorce from Jeremy Renner's character.
Yeah.
But so you're thinking that, and then it completely turns that when you get towards 3/4 of the way through the movie, which is awesome.
It plays the time well. I just think, I mean, this movie for me took a rewatch to fully grasp what it was trying to do. So that might be why it's a 4 on my list and not like a 1 or a 2. But I just think I liked the director's previous work a lot with Prisoners and Enemy.
Right.
He's always making these like kind of aggressive, like in your face kind of narratives that make you question your surroundings and question life and all that. And I just think this movie's high on my list for the cinematography of it. Has some of like the best long shots, some of the best like environmental scenes. Um, the aliens were interesting and original, and I think it has kind of an incredible commentary on language and like culturalism and trying to decipher boundaries of language, things like that. Even
Mm-hmm.
though it's an alien in the movie, it really can be overlapped into a number of different things.
Yeah, it's an alien movie that has no lasers, no.
Yeah, it's not an alien movie that you would think of like
It's not Independence
Aliens
Day,
or
the earlier
Independence Day.
alien
Yeah,
movie from the summer.
yeah.
I
So
really loved discussing that movie after I got out of it.
it's
Um,
definitely a pretty big thinker. You have to. I had to watch it twice. I might even watch it again before I really get the full grasp of it.
yeah, and like um, the way that they handle the military and the government taking over immediately when something like that happens, that stuff was all pretty well handled, especially with the
Yeah,
way that a lot of governments try to work together and then they get scared of one another, and there's all these very tense relations, and then you
yeah,
have some of the guys who step in and make clearly rash decisions.
hmm
But
yeah. But it was good. I would say check that out for sure. Definitely the best sci-fi movie of the year, I think.
yeah, the only thing for me is like when you get into this changing the concept of time, you
Hmm
make different parts of the story hard to deal with.
Yeah,
But I
that's
mean
why.
that happens with everything with any time travel movie, whether it's Looper, Primer, or
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
Well, that was kind of a turnoff for me because I mean you seem to think that they handled time really well, and they did at points. But I mean, from my perspective, I thought that it was kind of jumpy. That's why it took me multiple watches to really kind of gather everything because
mm-hmm.
it didn't seem to play with time as cleanly as say Manchester did or other movies of this year that kind of jump back and forth.
Well, so I think that's kind of on purpose, though, in that you're not sure when you're watching,
Yeah,
specifically the first time.
it gets to that circular kind of notion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it doesn't specifically say, it doesn't give you dates, it doesn't give you these things. The characters don't
hmm
seem to have aged at different times, except for
Yeah.
when you see like the little girl become a teenage girl, but you don't know that that's pre or post these aliens coming in.
hmm Yeah, it's cyclical in nature.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah. So Arrival was my number four, and your number three, right?
Correct.
So what was your number four?
My number 4 was Fences.
Okay, that's my number two for later. So do you want to talk briefly about Fences, or do you want to talk about Fences now?
Well, I think this is where we're gonna get into our little switches. So like, for me, Fences is 4, but so your 4 or your number 2 is Fences. I'm gonna guess your number 3 is probably La La Land.
Yeah,
Yeah. So this is where we're gonna hit this stuff. So
that's
it's
fine.
up to you. So I have Fences, Arrival, La La Land, and then I'm gonna guess that we're both gonna say that the same number 1
Yeah,
with
probably.
Manchester.
Yeah.
Okay. So we can discuss that in whatever order you want then, I guess.
Well, let's touch brief. Let's just talk about Fences now.
Okay.
So Fences is my number two, and your number four.
Right.
Um, I thought Fences was really close. It was almost my number one this year. I saw like again, it was an incredibly close movie that kind of took this screenplay and made it into an incredible period piece of like, was it 1950s? What was the decade again? It was like 1930s. I don't remember now, but anyways, it's about this guy who works for like waste management as a truck driver. He was originally just a trash guy, but he ended up getting promoted to a truck driver.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not even about that. It's about like just like the African American struggle, but it's also about like racial tensions and
And
tensions
the
in the
internal family
relationship.
struggles they have.
Yeah, the family struggles, the father son, father wife, or husband wife, and it's just like it's always tense, but the dialogue seems to never end. It's like
Well, I mean,
it's really
Denzel almost talks the entire movie.
yeah. That's where it
There
gets
are
it.
points where he's talking with a group of people who get to say nothing for
Yeah,
so long. that you're almost like, dude, is somebody else gonna get a chance to talk?
Yeah. It's based on that play kind of mentality. So based on a play by August Wilson. So I mean that kind of really comes into play here. It's just not nonstop talking, but pretty much. It's again, it's a long movie. It's like what's the runtime? 2 hours and 20 minutes, and that's pretty long.
Yeah, and I feel like 2 hours and 15 of that is Denzel telling stories that people know are way too far.
Exactly.
Like him taking on death, or
yeah. I mean, the only gripe I had with this movie, I think, is with the ending. I felt that it was a bit forced and kind of moderately religious. But I think otherwise, I mean, Viola Davis was fantastic. Denzel was fantastic. Both of them, I think, deserve their respective awards at the Oscars. But who knows if they're going to receive them or not? We'll see. Do you have anything else to add for Fences? I don't want to spoil too much.
I don't know if I have anything else to add. I mean, it's really, really well done, especially with Denzel helming both the leading role and the directing.
Yeah, exactly. That's insane. I can't even imagine. It's like, I mean, that's that high dialogue content that kind of like renders back, like, or harkens back to like last year's Hateful Eight, which got a lot of praise too. But again, it's a movie that's incredibly close in terms of like the geography of it. Like Fences takes place in a house, Hateful Eight took place in a cabin, and it's just all dialogue, just revolving around each other, creating tension, and it builds really well. And I love Fences a lot. So my number 3 is La La Land.
And that's my number 2.
It's your number 2. Okay. So you start on this one because you have it higher.
Man, I loved this movie.
So good.
I made a mistake, and I saw this movie, and then immediately saw Manchester by the Sea, which is, it's just like, it was just one giant heartbreak of a night.
Yeah.
It was so hard.
Yeah.
Man.
It's like punching yourself in the heart for like 4 hours.
I mean, there's so much good stuff to La La Land. The music is fantastic. The original songs are so good. Emma Stone destroys. All the little details of Hollywood and all the homages back to other movies. And
all right, let's talk briefly about Damien Chazelle as a director. Okay. So, did you see Whiplash from last year?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, Whiplash was very good. Yeah. So I think he just has like an obsession with jazz. It kind of seems like, sort of, that kind of definitely overarches both films.
Do you think like Gosling's character is more of a portrayal of his thoughts on jazz then?
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Okay.
Especially with Whiplash happening in the same vein of, spoilers here, but kind of like a failed artist sort of vein. But I think the term, in terms of the movie being a musical, what are your thoughts on how well it really stood out in terms of just musicals? I personally thought it was more like of a narrative-based movie that kind of had its moments with songs like City of Stars and Audition. But I didn't think it really was a music. In my eyes, it wasn't really a musical. It was more of a commentary on being an artist and struggling and all that sort of framed by music. The lyrics were good. They were sung pretty well by Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. But when you compare them to like, I don't know, I guess Across the Universe, even though that's pretty old now at this point, but that's the closest musical I can think of. I don't really watch many musicals. But Across the Universe seemed like much more based around the songs within that movie and kind of succeeded more there. What are your thoughts?
I mean, there's definitely a lot of music in this. you have from their date scenes where they dance on nothing and float
Yeah.
to the huge ending.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But I mean, like specifically the opening music and dance number.
right.
I
The
thought
huge
that
everybody
was
in traffic singing and dancing.
yeah. I thought it was good, but it kind of was like a weird like homage to like Grease.
Mm-hmm.
Let it was good, but I mean, ultimately, I kind of wanted something better. I don't know.
I feel like it's a good opening for a movie that's gonna center a lot around music.
Mm-hmm. But I thought like in terms of performances, I thought Stone kind of walked away with this. Gosling did well, but again, I don't know if it's just me. It probably is just me, but I've never seen Gosling really carry a movie. Have you? Like
Dude, did
by
you not watch
himself?
Drive?
I have not watched Drive actually,
How have you not watched
so
Drive?
I just haven't. I haven't seen much of Nicholas Winding Refn's movies. I
Yeah,
wanted to see.
I mean, everyone jokes about his character not talking a lot, but I mean, his character is very iconic.
Yeah. I mean, it is, but I just felt like he was Ryan Gosling. Does his character really ever change? I mean, I guess it's a jerky thing to say, but I just don't feel like it does. I feel like he's always Ryan Gosling. He's always the same character. He always had like there's he's kind of charming, kind of funny, but does he go farther than that in this? I don't know.
In this, I don't think so. Probably not. No.
Yeah, so that's why I think Stone kind of stole the show.
Yeah.
So that was my thought on La La Land, but definitely fantastic movie. I just thought that Stone kind of carried it more than Gosling did. So what's your number three was Arrival, right?
Mhm.
So now we're to our number one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So my number one was Manchester, so was yours, right?
Yep. We both love that movie.
Yeah, Manchester definitely stole the show this year for me. It did so many original things that were amazing, just awesome. Casey Affleck's performance was so good.
Yeah, I spent the whole next day at work with the soundtracks to both of these movies, La La Land and Manchester. Just kind of listening to them both throughout the day. I
Mm.
don't know why. I just wanted to continue to feel sad, I guess. But
they're both so and they succeed really well. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I guess you have to watch Manchester to really get the effect of it, and I don't want to spoil that movie. And there are so many good scenes of
it
just
it's just
gut wrenching.
the trailer does not have you
Yeah,
set up and ready
not at all.
for what is coming your way.
No.
Like
And
the whole bit of him being the kid's guardian is such a subplot to the whole of it.
yeah. Wow. I mean, it's just I can't even describe it really.
But
It
the
was
music was really
definitely.
good. The the casting was awesome.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, Michelle Williams was good. Who played the Lucas Hedges?
hmm That's the kid.
Hmm.
Yeah, he was awesome. His back and forth with Casey, I loved it
Hmm.
at every point of it. Um,
Yeah.
the point where there's a point where Casey Affleck like tries to calm him down, and it's just really funny how Casey's character handles that, the way he's handled everything else throughout the movie, just very calmly,
Yeah.
not quite jokingly, but he'll poke fun at things
Yeah. Both of them kind of try to hide their problems, and
in
eventually
a
they just
very
catch up with them.
yeah, in a very like northeastern manner, right? So like
Yeah, like very Boston.
yeah,
I thought Kyle Chandler was fantastic, even in his couple scenes he was in. But yeah, I didn't know about this director until now. But I definitely got to check out his previous films. This is his first big one, but he has a couple.
And this is a huge movie for Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really weird. I found out that he actually wrote the director for this wrote the screenplay for Gangs of New York, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. I didn't realize he actually wrote that. That's pretty awesome.
That's sweet.
So yeah, definitely a favorite movie of the year by far. It was close for Fences for me, but I think in the end, Fences was so limited in its setting that I think Manchester kind of pulled it out. Definitely with its emotion was a bit higher, and its portrayal. I don't know. Definitely very different films, but I think Manchester edged out a bit for me. Any final remarks for Manchester?
No, I don't think so.
All right, that's our top tens. So do you want to go through them again? Count down from 10 to 1 for you, and then I'll go.
All right, my 10 is Your Name. 9 was Nocturnal Animals. 8 was Hell or High Water. 7 was Zootopia. 6 was Deadpool. 5 was The Nice Guys. 4 was Fences. 3 was Arrival. 2 was La La Land, and 1 being Manchester by the Sea.
Nice. All right, so mine was number 10 was Moonlight. 9 was The Handmaiden. 8 was Patterson. 7 was Hell or High Water. 6 was The Lobster. 5 was Don't Breathe. I had 4 on Arrival. 3 La La Land. Number 2 was Fences, and number 1 Manchester by the Sea. So definitely a good year for films. Looking forward to the Oscars. Looking forward to seeing who walks away with these awards. And that's about all I got. So this was the first episode of Concessions, the inaugural. Hope you enjoyed it. My name's Nate Carter, and I'm with Nick Donovan. Say goodbye, Nick.
Goodbye, Nick.